Welcome to episode 38 of Paris Playbook. Today I'm joined by Brady Norton, offensive lineman for the Cal Poly men's football team. Brady, what's up?
How's it going, man?
Not bad. How are you?
Good. Thanks for letting me on the show.
Yeah, of course. The fourth Mustang we've had on the show.
The
Doing a
fourth.
run, doing a run through the Cal Poly athletes.
Am I the first football Mustang?
Yes, sir.
Let's go.
Yeah. Hey, you got to represent the. I feel like offensive linemen don't always get the credit they deserve. People always go for the quarterbacks, the running
I know,
backs, wide
man.
receivers first.
I know, but we always get love from our quarterbacks and running backs. The fans don't particularly, celebrate with us, but we definitely get our big thanks from our team. So it's all the
Right.
love I
Yeah.
need.
Yeah, exactly. Well, they need you. Otherwise, they'd be running for their lives.
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about before you got to Cal Poly, your recruiting, and you also, I guess, before that, what you played rugby too.
Yeah.
Were you serious into rugby? Was it ever
I
like a
was.
question on if you were gonna play rugby in college or football?
Yeah. So I played, that was one of my first sports I started playing was rugby. Coming in, and I played both probably from like sixth to like fifth to eighth grade, playing both tackle rugby, tackle football, and just kept going. And when I get towards high school, the high school that was right next to me didn't have a rugby team. I had like a serious sit down with my dad because I was pretty good potentially with both. I had a good size. I was probably, I don't know, as an eighth grader, I was pretty big, like 5'10", starting to get my height going. So I had to pick between rugby and football. It was one of the hardest choices of my life, but I decided to pick football. And I miss rugby a lot, but yeah, I did play rugby for about 8 years. And I do plan, even like when my football career is done, joining a men's league and
Yeah,
see if my body can still hold up and play a little more rugby because I miss it a lot.
that's a brutal sport, rugby. I like watching it, but man, it's brutal.
Yeah, they got some rules implemented. Like when you're tackling someone, you can't tackle like above the waist. And honestly, I think it's more safer than football. Like I've never had an injury in rugby, and I've had more injuries in football. But I mean, just contact sports, they're bound to happen.
Yeah, they just teach the tackling technique better in rugby because you don't have
Yeah,
pads.
yeah, that's like a big deal. Tackling technique, and it's a penalty if you tackle above the waist. And like there's nobody coming like full speed, decking dudes. It's just form tackling all the way.
Yeah. So, obviously, like you mentioned here, you ended up picking football.
Did
And at what point did you like really start to take football seriously? Like, was it right away when you made the decision? You were like, I want to make something out of this. I want to play after school, or was it a little bit later in your high school career?
uh probably a little later because my dad said like with two contact sports, injuries are bound to happen. So when I picked football, I went over to Mission Viejo, which is a school in front of me, which is a big football school. They're a really good public school in California. Um, my freshman year, I kind of it was like my like goof off load, kind of like a goof off year. All my buddies were with me. It was a freshman football. It wasn't that big of a deal. But coming around sophomore year, I got moved up to varsity my freshman year and was a scout team player, getting my ass kicked by some of the older guys that were starting. But about my sophomore year, when I came to one of the games, one of my home games, just seeing that giant, huge home crowd, I'm like, yeah, I want to take this seriously. I want to start by be my junior year. So probably about the start of my sophomore year is when I started taking it seriously. Lifting, footwork, trying to get my craft better. So it's around that time.
And then at what point did you start like the recruiting process, talking to coaches and schools?
Um, I made well the big recruiting with football is Twitter, or it's called X now. But big recruiting with us is Twitter. I've always had my account saying like offensive line in Mission Viejo. Probably at the time I was like 6'3", like 250. But coaches started contacting me and following me by the time my junior year, about halfway through my junior year. Because with college coaches, they're not allowed to offer you or really talk to you until your junior year. So I started getting follows from different coaches, texts like, "Hey, like, send me your transcript, send me your film, etc." And that's when like I didn't get any offers at the time. That was the time I was starting to talk to coaches, starting to pick up for me.
Yeah. So I was reading in your bio that you kind of narrowed it down to a few schools, and you ended up picking Cal Poly. I think wasn't one of them Weber State, and there were a
Yeah,
couple Eastern Washington, and then you ended
yeah.
up picking Cal Poly. So talk about that, decision. Why you ended up going with the Mustangs?
I was actually committed to a different school in Iowa at the time, called Drake University. Because
Okay,
coming,
yeah,
I also want obviously the goal for I feel like any D1 athlete is to go and play as long as you can. For me, obviously NFL, baseball players, MLB, etc. But I also looked at the big academics wise. So when it came to like, you know, um, when it came to like, I was committed to Drake School in Iowa. They had really good academics. I was gonna be kind of far from home, but I kind of like their stuff they were doing there. But Eastern, they had really good athletics. I didn't really like the academic parts. When I want to go to school, I want to get both athletic and academics together. Weber, obviously beautiful place, beautiful facilities. Just the school didn't really impress me the way they did that. Um, at the time when I was committed to Drake, Cal Poly ended up coming to my school. My coach called me and said, "Hey, there's some coaches here to see you." I'm like, "What, coach? I'm already committed someplace else." And walked down the field because I want to show some respect. I want to be respectful to coaches. And I wasn't locked into anything with my previous school, so I just talked to the coaches, and they're like, "Hey, we want to take you up on an official visit, show you around the school." And they paid for me and my family to go up there, stay for 2 days. I got to see the academic side, the athletic side. I just fell in love with the school. I'm a lot closer to home than I would be in Iowa, staying in California, close to the beach. I thought it was just beautiful here, but the academic sides of Cal Poly was just huge, and that really just boosted my decision to come to this beautiful school.
and now I'm sure your parents can come to your home games a lot easier than
Yeah,
they would be if you were like in Iowa. That'd be a hike.
yeah. My dad, before Cal Poly was a decision. My dad's like, yeah, I have to, get this new plan so I can get some travel points and flight points and help me, get your games because my dad does not like to miss a game.
Yeah,
So it was a lot easier decision to be a lot closer to home.
definitely. Before we dive into your season so far and everything that's been going on, one other thing I wanted to bring up before you got to Cal Poly was you played in the North South All Star game.
Yeah,
It's always fun to get to play in an All Star game to kind of
yeah.
cap off your high school career.
hmm So yeah, that was always like the big game in my area. I wasn't obviously that big 5-star recruit that would go to like the Hawaiian Bowl game, like the All American Under Armour game. So
Yeah,
we always had like a local one called the All Star game, and I was like, I want to play in that. And after my senior season, I was like, Coach, let me know. I want to play in that really bad. I was one of the first guys the head coach of the North South game called. I was on the south side, and yeah, I had a blast playing with kids I've played against. Now we're all on the same team. But one good part of it is that my left guard, he's playing at USD right now, Cody Going. We've played next to each other for 5 years. I got to play one last game with him before we ended off like our streak together. But yeah, it was a great time. We ended up getting the win. I was the captain of that game. I played almost every down. It was a great final game of high school before I headed off to college.
yeah, perfect way to cap off your high school career and
Yeah,
take a little momentum heading into college. Some good things. So, your freshman season, obviously you guys are what are they, like five games into the season so far.
it's about
And you saw some action against Lincoln and Portland State.
I
Coming
did.
into the season, were you like guaranteed, hey, I'm gonna get to play, or was it pretty much like you got to work, and if you work hard enough, you grind, you'll get some action?
I definitely I felt a little higher because from the high school I went against with the high school I went to Mission Viejo being that high school we finished like 18th in the nation. So I felt like I would get some playing time, but I still had to work for it. So coming in, seeing the guys, my football IQ was already a little more than them because of the offense we ran in my high school. It was kind of like a
Yeah,
college offense. So I understood a lot of the stuff for our offensive scheme at Cal Poly. So coming in, I still had to work. I still had to grind. They wanted to redshirt me. They told me like flat out like I wanted to redshirt, which I understand. You know, my weight for an lineman isn't the highest. So, but ended up fighting my way up to the backup spot, right tackle right now as a freshman. I think I've done pretty well. And then I was glad to get some playing time against Lincoln and Portland going in. Even though there was 2 minutes left in the fourth quarter, we're already up by like 30 points against Lincoln. Going in and actually, playing some downs against, not my own teammates was made all that work worth it, man. And
Oh
then
yeah.
sometime against Portland, I got a lot of snaps against Portland. They threw me in the third quarter. We were kind of getting our butts beat at the time, but I still play my heart out, and then I want to be the best I can for our team.
Right. And I mean, you want to impress your coaches and, like no matter what the score of the game is, prove that you're willing to keep grinding till the very
Yeah.
end. So are you skipping the red shirt then? Because I mean, I know you can play 3 games and still red shirt.
Yeah, I can play four actually.
Okay, 4.
Um, I've played two already. I do want a red shirt because right now we're having a bit of a rough season back and forth, but I really do think the future of our program is really good. If the coaches need me to play and not red shirt, I will 100% do what they need me to do. But in my mind, I do want a red shirt because I think the future of Cal Poly is really good. Red shirt, be able to play another 4 years after this one, and hopefully beef up the team and get Cal Poly back in the playoffs, man. So we're
Yeah.
hoping.
That's the beauty of the red shirt, though. You can get some action in a few games. You get that
Yeah,
in-game experience that you don't get against playing against your guys, and it's just going to benefit you the following season and help with that that promising future. You mentioned that you felt like you had a good grasp on like the football IQ. You
yeah.
could figure out the offense. Was there anything that you had a hard time adjusting to coming from high school to college?
Definitely the speed. Obviously, back in high school, I'd be going against guys that, oh, this is my last year of high school. They weren't the biggest and were the strongest, but now I'm going against guys that they were all the best dudes in their city. They were all D1 dudes at Cal Poly. They're all stronger, they're all faster. So I really had to adjust to the speed and strength of the opponents and how college is going to work. When it comes to the mental side of things, I can do it. Like physical side, I had to, pick it up a little bit and bring out some meanness so I can impress some of the coaches. But yeah, definitely the skill. The skill was definitely a big jump from high school.
Yeah. Hey, well, it's a good thing you can work on skill. You can build strength and all
Yeah,
that. It's a lot easier, I feel like, to adjust to the strength than it would be to like figure out that like IQ. That it's going to take a lot longer if you come in and you have a hard time grasping the offense and you've got to work on the speed. So at least you had one of the boxes checked and you only
yeah,
had to work on the physical side. So
yeah.
definitely helps. From the first practice, or at least kind of your first workouts to now, have you noticed a lot of personal growth with yourself?
Oh yeah. Just my technique, man, working technique every single day. Fall camp, having to do 12 hours, 6 days a week, I was, going in it sucked, but my technique and my abilities, how like fast I react to things have just improved so much from first day to now. I'm just really impressed. I'm really bless my coaches for really, putting the effort in me and just having me get better.
Right, yeah. Just gotta keep grinding and if you're in a good system and you like the culture and your coaches and
Yeah,
everything, then you guys are gonna, have that promising future, get the Mustangs to some glory.
rolling, man. Like I'm rolling.
So what's your favorite part about Cal Poly so far?
Dang. Honestly, the people here are just amazing. Like, even though the locals and everything, like I feel like the city puts a lot into the college. So when it comes to the games, man, even if we're not at some low points, they're still cheering, still helping us up. So definitely the community is a big part, man. They've really gotten our team going, and just the area and where the school is, man. I love it here. It's beautiful. I don't want to leave, man. Like I love it here.
That's why you want the red shirt. You need a few more years on the
Another year. I need
beach.
another year here, man.
So I'm big into uniforms, helmets,
Yeah.
logos. Like I love everything. Sometimes I'll judge a team by the way they look. Like I just like
Yeah.
there's certain teams I dislike because I think their jerseys look like shit. So like, you
I feel
know,
you.
there's some teams I only like because they have good jerseys. Like I really like Oregon State just because I think they have sick
No, but
jerseys, like the
yeah, I
Beavers. I
got
don't
you.
know. There's something about that. So I was looking at your guys's, and you guys got some nice jerseys, some nice combos. I like your just basic green helmets, the CP on them. But
Yeah,
you guys also had some. You have like a black set of jerseys that are pretty sweet. Do you have a
yeah.
favorite uniform combo?
I love the all black, man. I like the black helmet with like the chrome green CP with the little palm tree out of it. I think it's beautiful
Yeah,
with the all black jersey. I even like our all whites, man. Like our all white with the white helmet. I think it's sick as well. We got three different
that's
helmets,
pretty clean.
but I think that like the one like solid color. I think the all black, all
Yeah,
white. I think is just super clean. And I think those are really like what pops for us.
yeah. No, yeah. You guys definitely have some good uniform combos, and so that's always a plus. You want to look good out there. Like there's some of these schools, just like their school colors suck, their
Yeah.
uniforms suck. I mean, it's really like it doesn't even matter how hard they try. They're not going to get something that looks good because they're
If you look good, you play good, man. I'm telling you,
right.
look good.
Exactly, and maybe that's the reason why some of these schools suck too. I don't know. Like they're okay, but like Bowling Green, you ever seen their jerseys? They're brown.
Yeah,
Like
the
that's just
brown.
kind of like I don't know. Brown's
So
not a
weird.
sexy color when you're like
Yeah, I
looking
feel
thinking
you.
about jersey.
Yeah,
I don't know. Actually
but
I think like University of Michigan's jerseys suck because it's just so boring. I don't know.
I don't mind simplicity. Like I don't mind like Penn State's jerseys with the simple helmet and stuff like that. It looks clean. It looks clean, you know. But like
Yeah.
if you like the Oregon, like all the flashy colors, then I understand.
Yeah, yeah.
But you
See,
know
I
the
like a little
flashy
more
stuff.
flash, but like I really like Iowa's jerseys, and that's pretty simple. Just the black and yellow. I mean, it's got a little
Yeah,
more pop than like say Penn State or Michigan, but it's still pretty simple.
yeah. I like their helmets too. The Hawkeye and the blackout
Yeah,
helmet. Yeah,
yeah.
they do
You
well too.
can't go wrong with that.
And not.
So, did you have a favorite? What's your favorite team? I mean, a Cali boy has got to be with the Rams or the 49ers.
I'm a diehard Raiders fan, man.
Really?
I love the mostly. My dad was a Raiders fan growing up. He picked the Raiders when he was young. It was the Redskin Raiders Super Bowl, and him
Yeah.
being little, he was like, whatever team wins the Super Bowl, I will be the favorite of. And the Raiders won that Super Bowl, so I ended up becoming a Raider fan. And yeah, me and my dad, that's how we really bonded. You know, waking up Sundays, pissing off my mom because they're screaming at the TV. You know, but yeah, I'm a diehard Raiders fan. Yeah, I love the silver and black.
Tough look on Sunday. Almost had that dub
I
there.
don't right now I don't mind losing. I wanna get that first round pick for number one pick and Caleb Williams, man.
You don't like
I would
Jimmy
not mind that.
G?
He's just a downgrade of Derek Carr, honestly. Like, God.
Yeah, I mean, you guys have all the other pieces: Devontae Adams, Jacoby Myers, Josh Jacobs. Like you have all the weapons. You got
Yeah.
what's his face there from Notre Dame? I should know this because I'm a Notre Dame fan. The tight end.
Myers,
You get
Michael
yeah,
Myers.
Michael
Yeah.
Myers. He's a beast. I loved watching him in
I love our
college.
team. I just don't like our head coach. I think we need
Yeah,
a head coach, man. I just don't like him.
yeah, yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I don't think he's awesome either. Like
I think he's a hell of an offensive coordinator, but I don't think he's a hell of
not
a head
well,
coach.
that doesn't make you a good head coach though either.
Yeah.
Right? Like a lot of these guys take the jump and then they can't make that transition. He should
Yeah,
just
they can't.
go back to the Pats, go back to being the OC for Belichick.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Did you have a favorite player growing up?
Oh, growing up, it had to be Derek Carr. Just watching that man, because when I finally, you know, like 10 or 11 going up, you know, I was always a big Derek Carr fan. Mostly like in 2016 when he balled out for us, brought the Raiders to 12-4, and then got hurt and we lost to the 9-7 Texans. Man, that broke my heart. But I always stuck with Derek Carr. I always loved him. I'm sad he's on the Saints now, but you know, I still root for him no matter what. You know, but Derek Carr was definitely one of my number one players growing up. Got his jersey in my closet right now. Like,
He's jacked now. Like he really
dude,
beefed
he
up.
did get big, yeah.
It's like some of those pictures of him in the
Got
offseason. It was like,
the
is he
rolled up
playing
sleeves and
linebacker now or
everything.
what?
Yeah,
Like,
he's big,
geez,
huh?
he's been hanging out with Taysom Hill too much. They, like not built like quarterbacks.
Yeah. Taysom Hill
He's
plays
always,
everything.
I think he's always been like underrated guy. He kind of got shit
Yeah,
on for, I mean, I don't know. I feel like he's just kind of one of those guys that people hated on when he's actually a solid QB. I
yeah,
mean, he didn't have the best teams around him every year he
yeah.
was on the Raiders.
It showed a statistic that was stuck with me that like every year Derek Carr played, he had like a bottom five defense every year he played for the Raiders. Man, that it's tough on the offense too. You got a bad defense, they still correspond to each other.
Yeah,
So
defense wins championships. That's what
defense does win championships.
they say.
Well, offense scores
Although
points.
scoring 70 points in a game or 50 points in a game might win championships too. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm saying
You need both though. You can't do it like
definitely
thinking
both.
about that Dolphins Broncos game. Obviously, their defense shut down the Broncos offense enough where they could score 70 points.
Yeah,
And then they lose to the Bills, so I guess.
I was after I saw that game. I'm like, Dolphins are going to the Super Bowl, man. They're making it all the way, and they go next week and lose to the Bills. So I guess the
Yeah.
Broncos are just that bad.
Yeah. Who I don't even know who the best team in the NFL is right now. It's really hard to say.
I hate to say it, but I think it's the Niners.
Think so?
Yeah, just how good that defense is. Their offense just really has all those weapons with Debo, Ayuk. They got Kittle. They got McCaffrey. Purdy is coming up. They got top five O line. That team is just stacked.
Can they win a Super Bowl with Purdy right now? I'm not saying like he can't win one eventually, but you think they can win one right now with him?
Purdy. Yeah, Purdy's a solid quarterback, and honestly, I think if Purdy was thrown in any other system, like if he's thrown like for example the Raiders, like he wouldn't have done as well. It's just he has so many just he's a great coach, so many just weapons with him, man. Like he's in a room to succeed. Like
Yeah,
he's given
he did.
everything.
He was always a heck of a player in college. I feel like he was kind of an underrated guy to get drafted
He's
where he
a
was.
Iowa State guy, right?
Yeah, yeah, he was good there. I mean, he balled out in college, and then gets the last pick in the draft, comes in,
Just
gets the starting
balls
job, and
out.
lights it up over
Yeah.
the third overall pick, whatever 3 years ago or whatever Trey Lance was.
Sure, man. So you can't help but root for him, man. Can't help but
No,
root for him.
exactly. If you're rooting against, I don't care if you're a Niners fan or not, but if you're rooting against Brock Purdy, you're just a hater.
I hate the Niners, but I do root for Brock Purdy a little
Yeah,
bit.
I don't like the Niners either, but I like him. I like his story. I think he's a
Yeah,
solid guy.
yeah.
So you're an offensive lineman. It means you have to like food. You have to like to eat.
Man,
You got to be a big eater. What's your favorite food?
God, put me in the spot right now. There's a lot of options.
Well, rattle
Yeah, I do.
off a couple.
I think I do eat a lot. I love sushi, man. I can go to some
Really?
all you can eat place. Sushi's definitely up there. My number one. My number two. That's actually not sushi's my number two. My number one is chicken sandwiches. I go to a place and I judge them primarily on their chicken sandwich. Like you can make a good burger, but can you make a good chicken sandwich, man? That's
Yeah,
always big for me.
that's how you judge a restaurant.
I got a rating. I got a place over here. Down in Southern California in La Habra. It's called the Cuts, and they got really good chicken sandwich. It's my number one right now.
Hmm.
So I have yet to find a place to beat that.
Yeah. So chicken sandwiches and sushi. That's the
Yeah,
go-to.
that is the go-to. Love
Hey,
those two.
that's not bad. That's unique. Nobody has ever on the podcast told me that they judge a restaurant by their chicken sandwich. I like that. It's unique.
Put me down as the first man. I
Yeah,
judge them.
exactly. What kind of music do you like?
Man, I'm all over the place right now. I'm into like house music right now, just like beat music. Um, what we do here is let's play a little bit of poker. So like it's always good music. We play a little poker, have a good time with the guys. But I'll go back. I love like 90s, 2000 rock. Me and my dad will eat that shit up all the time, listening to that stuff. Um, what else? Like indie, man. I honestly listen to everything. One thing I don't listen to. I need to start liking it. I feel like, but I've not caught on to country music that well.
Okay.
country
Yeah.
music's not up there for me, but everything else I've come to enjoy.
What's the vibe on the team? Like pregame in the locker room? This is rap.
Oh, we're playing like the hardest like rap we can find. It's trying to get us in that like killing mentality. That's what you gotta do. You're going on the field, to kill someone basically, metaphorically,
Right, right.
but you're going on
Nobody
that field,
listens to heavy metal. Like I don't know.
I'd love to do that.
I can't get jacked up listening to rap. I can't lift or like work out listening to
I'm the same
rap.
as you. I'm the
I
same
gotta
as you.
listen to some heavy metal. But like I don't know no athletes are like, yeah, we throw on heavy metal. It's all rap. It's all
Yeah,
rap.
that's how they all are. But like I'll have like my AirPods in. I'll be playing my 2000s rock, playing like Foo Fighters or something like that.
Yeah.
But I'll be playing that type of rock.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to. That's the way to roll.
I have to.
So why don't we wrap it up with I like asking this kind of a question. I don't know, it's just kind of fun to see what people say. But if you could sit on a bench with any athlete ever and
Oh
pick their
man,
brain about how to succeed in life, how to succeed in athletics, who would you sit on a bench with?
man. Um, couple come to my mind actually.
Okay,
Um,
you got a big bench.
yeah, got a bigger bench. Two O linemen in mind because obviously I play O line, but I definitely like to sit next to Trent Williams and Quentin Nelson,
Yeah,
some of the two best O linemen in the league right now, man. And if it comes to just like football wise, those would be the two I want to talk with. When it comes to just like life wise, honestly, one of them would be Andrew Luck. I think I'd sit down and have a good conversation with Andrew Luck, man. He's
yeah,
such a nice, genuine guy. I feel like he knows a lot.
yeah,
Stanford man, right? He came from
yeah.
Stanford, if I'm
Yes,
not
sir.
mistaken. So smart guy. Him or Luke Kuechly. I feel like Luke Kuechly would be a
Oh
good one
yeah,
too.
I
Very smart
definitely think.
guy. He.
Yeah.
I remember I'd see clips of him. He would call out. He would literally see the formation and call out the play like right as it is. But yeah, those two I feel like would give some good life lessons and teach me up a little bit.
Yeah, that sounds like a pretty good squad of guys there to
Yeah,
learn from. I mean, you really can't go wrong with most, professional athletes you rattle
of
off.
course.
Everyone's like got their specialty. But it's always interesting to see Andrew Luck. He'd definitely be a good one, especially he had to battle through a lot of stuff in his
Yeah,
career, injuries, and they said he's a smart guy. Luke
yeah.
Kuechly, and they seem like they're genuine people too.
They're
Like
good people. Yeah.
they're good people and they know what they're doing in athletics.
Hmm.
Quentin Nelson, Trent Williams, I mean, guys that grind the best at their craft there is.
Yeah.
Can't go wrong.
Yeah,
Good
man.
stuff. Well, I saw your roommate pop in there. I think it was your
Yeah.
roommate. Somebody popped in. Who is it? Give him a shout out.
Oh, I think I think
He's
he
gone
left.
now. He left.
Oh,
He's not like hiding under the
shout
bed.
out to, I think it was Jay Smith, Jaden Smith, D1J, another offensive lineman. I'm rooming with two other offensive linemen right now. It's three big dudes in a room right now. But
Oh, this guy looks smaller. Maybe it's not. I don't know.
I'm pretty sure it was him. I don't know.
Yeah, it was hard to
The
tell because
only
he was like hidden behind you, but
Yeah,
didn't
I
look like
texted him
a
saying I was
big
on
guy.
this. I was texting him saying I was on this. So like, just make sure not to make much noise. So I think he tried to sneak in real quick.
No, he gave a thumbs up. Rock on.
Yeah. Oh, nice. Yeah. Shout out to my guy D1J. That wasn't him. Shout out to my other roommate Jack Para, two other offensive linemen.
Yeah,
Big shout out to those guys.
of course. Well, Brady, thanks for hopping on the pod. You're only the second offensive lineman I've had on the pod. Like I said, everyone
Second.
gives love to the quarterbacks. I've had,
Yeah.
I don't know, like 5 or 6 quarterbacks on the pod, then wide receivers, tight ends. You're
Yeah.
only the second offensive lineman.
Look at that.
Got to do something about that. I got to change that. I got to get some more offensive linemen. I got to show some love.
Gotta show love. Gotta show love to the big fellas, man.
Yes,
The
sir.
big
Well, thanks
fellas.
for hopping on.
Yeah, of course. Thanks for letting me on, man.
Yeah.